But I warn you, if you make any further inquiries, or if you say a single word to anyone about what you have seen.
Hey, hello, and welcome to my channel. As you can see from the title, this is another of my Eyes Wide Shut videos, but this one is about the possible connection between our guy Red Cloak from that strange mansion party and the well-known British occultist Aleister Crowley, who was known for doing ceremonial magic. But I've also found some other odd connections that may surprise you. So let's get started. Well, I guess first we should briefly explain who Aleister Crowley was. Aleister Crowley was a writer and an occultist operating mostly in the early 1900s, who called himself a prophet of sorts, with a new religion he founded called Thelema. A well-traveled man, he actually wrote a book in Egypt called the Book of the Law, which became the defining text for that Thelema religion, and whose main phrase was, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law," and which also embraced libertinism. We should also mention here that Crowley was known to be bisexual and had many relationships with men and women, and of course, at Red Cloak's party, we see same-sex couples dancing together. But one of the main things Crowley was known for was ceremonial magic, which I think is an obvious connection to Red Cloak. And we should say that Crowley did not consider his magic rituals to be illusions in the way a stage magician might do it, but something much deeper, where real events could occur. Crowley also mentioned magic weapons or tools that are used in this ceremonial magic, and one of these is a magic circle drawn on the ground. And in Eyes Wide Shut, we actually have a magic circle formed by the cult members, and a magic ceremony that takes place within it. I guess you could say Red Cloak's staff and clothes and masks are also magical tools in a way. Also, Crowley's ceremonial magic used the concepts of purification and consecration, whereby a person or space might be purified for a ritual. And here we see Red Cloak using smoke in a ritual ceremony. Perhaps it is sage, we aren't sure, but it seems like he is purifying the space. And many of the spaces at the Eyes Wide Shut mansion party are used by people having sex, wearing masks. Now, I'm going to say that this could be a sex magic ritual. And yes, that is a type of magic ritual. Now, I can't show all of the sex scenes here on YouTube, but Aleister Crowley was rather famous for his use of sex magic in his magical workings. He felt it was a powerful element to his rituals, so that is another similarity. Now, I thought we should talk a bit about Thelema, the religion Crowley founded, and some definite similarities with the rituals at Red Cloak's party. Crowley apparently defined magic in this religion, Thelema, as, quote, the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will, unquote. And as I pointed out in my video, Eyes Wide Shut masks change at the mansion party, which I'll link below. Red Cloak actually performs a high magic ritual here by transforming the masks of his cult members from fairly simple ones to, a second later, much more complex masks. So was Red Cloak causing change to occur with his will? Because that is how Crowley defined magic, and I think Red Cloak is actually a powerful, high-level magician. There is a hierarchy that exists in the Mansion cult, as I think the feather-masked woman here is an initiate of sorts, taking part in a ritual so she can move up in the hierarchy of the cult. because there are levels. I think that hierarchy also existed in the occult order that Aleister Crowley was founding. Another similarity between Aleister Crowley and Red Cloak would be a place called Boleskine House. And where is that? Well, it's in Scotland on the side of Loch Ness. And Crowley stayed here in the early 1900s, apparently performing a ritual that dated back 500 years or more, the purpose of which was to raise your guardian angel. But something went wrong, and Crowley ended up summoning demons or the Dukes of Hell. But since he never banished these demons, apparently strange things continued to happen in this house. Of course, Red Cloak does his ritual inside an unusual house as well, in this case, the ornate mansion. And Red Cloak also performs rituals there that seem to conjure up real magic. Also, side note, Boleskine House was later owned by guitarist Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin. Now, although I do think Aleister Crowley is one of the real world people that Red Cloak is based on, I thought we should also point out some of their differences. The first difference that stands out to me is that Red Cloak is much more private than Aleister Crowley. When Crowley was accused of being a Satanist and being involved in human sacrifice, he played up the sensationalism in the newspapers to get more fame, whereas Red Cloak is a much more private person. He actually threatens people not to say anything about what they saw at the mansion party. In a weird way, Red Cloak actually seems a bit more respectable than Aleister Crowley, who must have liked having the image of the infamous bad man, since he was once called the Great Beast. So we can see enough similarities here, I think, to say that the occultist Aleister Crowley was one of the influences on the character Red Cloak of Eyes Wide Shut. From the performing of ceremonial magic and the use of sex magic, as well as magical spaces and rituals, it seems obvious that one of the most infamous magicians of the 20th century would be a big influence for the character of Red Cloak. Though I think Red Cloak is a composite of several different people, real and fictional, I think we can say Mr. Crowley is one of them. Oh, and of course, there is a song called Mr. Crowley by English singer Ozzy Osbourne from his famous Blizzard of Oz album. He's formerly the singer of the group Black Sabbath, but I couldn't help but hear this song going through my head as I was making this video. Well, that's my short video about the possible connection between Red Cloak and Aleister Crowley. I hope you liked it. I'm working on something cool for next week, and I hope you'll check that out. And let me give a big thank you to my comments section. I always like reading those. Also, it would help my channel if you hit that subscribe button. But either way, my name is Shim. Thank you for spending time with me, and have a great day.
Take me! I am ready to redeem him.